Well, my name is Manuel Emch. I'm the CEO, but also the artistic director of Romain Jerome, a young, independent Swiss high-end watch company based in Geneva. Well, see, it's interesting when you have a brand that doesn't have boundaries like Romain Jerome, because Romain Jerome was founded 2004, a bit more than 10 years back, and it was not founded by reviving a historical watch name that obviously has roots and identities that you can work on. And it was not a watchmaker. It was not, I'm not Romain Jerome, it's a brand by itself. So it's not about me, but it's more about the brand itself. So when you have these two things, well, you have a lot of constraints because you don't really know what to do. But at the same time, you have a lot of freedom because you can create. And the idea we had at the beginning was to say that since we don't have history in the claim or in the existence, why not physically grab history and put it into a watch? And by doing this very unusual concept, we really opens up a whole field of possibilities, of creating possibilities. But then again, history is, as I said, very important. That's why we integrated it. And connecting to elements is very important because at the end, people buy watches because they are emotional to them, because they tell them a story, because they are emotional objects of art. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do this high-end traditional watchmaking in a very twisted way. Since we did the Dubai Watch Week here in the Dubai International Finance Center, well, we're discussing with Mohammed from Siddiqui, we said it would be cool to have something, some landmark. And obviously it is a landmark, and we managed to convince Dubai International Financial Center, the owners and the managers to give us pieces from the South Gate, screws from the South Gate that were used in one of the renovations, that we then melted into steel, watchmaking steel, rusted it to create bezels on a very unusual watch, which is the skeleton watch. Why the skeleton watch? Again, because the building, the South Gate itself, is like an open door to the future, standing firmly in today, but looking into the future, and that's what we're trying to do with the watches too. We said, okay, well, legends, icons, somehow make sense, fits together, and helps us to do these things because they're partnerships. That's why I came up with the idea of, okay, let's do partnerships, icons, pop icons, 70s, because that's when I was born, things that talk to me, that I have an emotional connection. And unfortunately, maybe I disappointed a few viewers. I mean, I was one of these geek kids playing video games like crazy instead of going to school. So I took what I was connected most to, and that was video games. And for me, playing Super Mario Space Invaders was my youth, was how I basically spent my time between 12 and 18. And by reviving these products, you again talk to the emotionality of the customers. I have a customer here in Dubai. He is a fan of Batman to an extent that is quite impressive, and he never bought watches before. And he happened to see that Batman watch and bought it. And since then has been collecting watches. And I met him here, and he told me that he's now at his 15th or 16th watch in 3 years. And I said, and how many of them are Romain Jerome? He said, only 3. And I was like, that's a bit disappointing, you know? But it's interesting for me to say that we also are able to bring new customers into watchmaking. We bring young customers. Most of our average age today of our customers is 25, 27. And these are people who often buy their first luxury watch with Romain Jerome, with the RJ watch. And that for me is a huge success. Because it's not only success for us, it's also success for the watchmaking industry because it rejuvenates a little bit the collector's base.